What is up, everybody? Good morning to you. Good evening, wherever you may be tuning in from today. We have a fun final video here in the CHECKRIDE prep series. A couple shout outs there to all my members in the chat this morning. This is a members only live chat stream just because I wanted to try to keep a lot of the distractions minimum here. Apparently there's some truck that just pulled up and started messing with my audio, so let's go over here a little bit quieter. But yeah, good to see you guys here. Dougal, hope you can conquer those pain meds, my friend. They can be rough, I know that. Slam Cannon in the house, how's it going, man? Barack Uslu, good to see you, man. I don't know why I'm having the emoji issue, but hopefully we can get it sorted out. Dimitri, I see Dimitri popping in there up early on top of the stream. Got my notepad ready. How's it going, bud? Good to have you here as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this. I wanted to use just the, or I was going to use the standard Airbus livery, but from the Discord, we had a guy, a 19 Adam Skin Creator, I think is his name. He posted this Cactus Airways livery, and let me tell you what, guys, this is probably one of the best renditions of the US Airways livery I've seen. He's got the colors and the graphics here on the bulkheads. It's just unbelievable, the amount of detail. You come back here, you look at the I don't know, one of the seat back pockets, there's some, it even has the US Airways cars and everything. I mean, it's great. There they are right there. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but that's an old US Airways card. So fantastic job. I had to use this livery today just because it's so well done, and I love it. And if you look at the engines, look at the detail. He kind of mixed a little bit of the Matavia mod and did his own thing. So I have no Matavia mod. I don't have anything on it. This is just all his work. And I mean, look at the dirt and grime on the pylons and the interior of the engine nacelle. I mean, that just looks fantastic. All right. Let's get this show on the road, guys. We got a lot on the plate today. For our outline, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a normal takeoff. Well, we're going to do a low vis taxi out like we did before, and I think I got the vis down a little bit more now, so hopefully it'll be pretty good. We'll do our low vis taxi out, normal takeoff. After we depart on the Harbor 6, we're going to go do our maneuvers. We're going to do steep turns. I'm going to do 2 stalls. I'm going to do a departure stall and an arrival approach to landing stall. Then we're going to come in for the RNAV. We're going to do an RNAV approach to 16 center. We're going to do that to a missed approach. After we go missed on the RNAV, we're going to set up for the localizer. We're going to do the localizer approach to a full stop. We'll load up the box for a V1 cut. Then we're going to fly the V1 cut back around for a hand-flown ILS. So that's what's on the plate today. Kind of going through CHECKRIDE now. We're not covering all the possible steps in the CHECKRIDE, but this is going to be most of it. So I've already, to save time, I've already got the air diesel line. I've got the aircraft sitting on ground power here, and let's go ahead and just finish up the rest of our flow. We'll get the seatbelt signs off. That comes on in auto. I've updated to the beta version of the Flight Factor. A couple things that are really nice. The lights finally look really good. The buttons, the illumination in the push buttons look much better than what they had before. I don't know what they had going on that. But anyway, I've got that on. I think it's messed with my BSS sounds a little bit. I think I'm running a mix of BSS and their default sounds, because this blower sound, yet again, is extremely loud. And basically sounds like somebody's got the vacuum going when I turn that blower on. So I've got the vacuum emoji up there as well. But I will probably have to adjust the sounds here later on. But I just wanted to use the beta today because I can use the failure system in the Flight Factor, which is pretty darn good as well. So, with that said, let's go ahead and make sure everything else is ready. I've got the box loaded up. And one other thing I don't like about the beta is these pop-ups now have these borders. And from what I can tell, you can't get rid of them. So that kind of sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and clear our flight directors. Flight directors back on. MCP is cleared. We're going up to 5,000 feet. Or I'm sorry, 10,000 feet. Everything else looks good there. Let's get the beacon light on and call for pushback.
Round to cockpit.
Oh.
Please show me where you want to go.
I thought you wanted to go right there. We can go ahead and disconnect the ground power as well. Squawking 2000, that comes on. We'll keep that off for now. Above mode. Beautiful.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
What? There we go. I guess I didn't hit enter.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, so tow is driving up. Let's go ahead and run our before start checklist all the way through. Maintenance log and tail number, that's on board and check. Cockpit prep, that is completed. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs, they are on and auto. ADIRS, we are navving. Fuel, 6.5 required, 7.0 on board. Altimeters, 3005 set once, twice, and 3 times. EFB, checked. For our EFB right now, I just have our, I'll pull up our plate here. Let's go back to the home charts. Oops. We'll just pull up the taxi diagram here for Seattle. EFB is checked.
Okay. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, windows, doors, and slides. They are closed and armed. Beacon, that is on. Thrust levers, idle. Parking brake is on. Transponder is in transponder. For start checklist complete. Dimitri says every time you update you have to reinstall the BSS pack. Yeah, I kind of figured that, Dimitri. I realized that after I did the update, but ironically it doesn't sound that bad running both. I mean, if I could just get rid of the blower sound, but I mean, listen to some of these push buttons. I mean, they sound pretty good. Like, there's snappy sounds. I don't hate it. So I kind of like the hybrid version of BSS and whatever Flight Factor's got going on, other than that that blower volume thing that they got up there. But I already did a test flight with it. We should be okay running both hybrid sounds, but I will definitely clean that up. I may, who knows, I may even revert back to the stable version. I do like, for the guys that don't have the beta version of the Flight Factor, if you don't update to it, you don't have this page here, but it is pretty cool. I mean, you can create your scenarios, you can load them, clear them, and there's a whole lot of stuff you can do. I mean, you just come here. I'm just going to, create a test one. You can do it at or above altitude. We can just do an example. I'm just making an example here for you guys so you can see. But let's see, like 6,000 feet. Okay, and then you can look at all these different failures you have. I obviously haven't tried all of them, but there's some slats and flap failures that look pretty cool. Now, in real life, we do a flap failure in the CHECKRIDE, or at least I think we do it in our initial type ride. I don't know if we do it every year, but it is a very complex and it's pretty sketchy coming in landing at 165, 170 knots. You do not flare. Okay, if you flare with a flap failure, if they're failed at slats 1 or something like that, you are coming in hot. And if you flare, you will float, and you float, you're going to go off the end of the runway. So that would be something fun to look at. I might do a separate video alone just on a flap failure. But I mean, they got hydraulic leakage. Let's see what else here. Engine damage, engine fire, elevator servo, all kinds of failures here that are pretty darn cool. You can do random, hit OK.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Brake set, clear, disconnect, show me the pin.
Disconnecting tail.
And then if you don't want it, you just come here and delete it. So I really like this, where Flight Factor is going with this failure stuff. I like where they're headed. Sam Ken says I don't think the stock sounds are that bad in the 320. You know what? I haven't actually listened to the stock sounds since the day I bought the airplane, or the day that BSS came out. So I will say that I'm impressed so far. Yes, Barack, I was able to find the Lua. Thank you guys. I think I forget who really reposted it, but I did find the auto chrono Lua script that I've got running. That's going to be really fun. I'm going to see if it works. So basically at gear up, our chrono should automatically start. Let's go ahead and fire up the engines here, guys. Go ahead and turn that over to ignition start. We have bleed pressure, cranking 1.
Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you next time. Turning one, baby. Dimitri says, I think it's placebo. The BSS is definitely better. You may be right with that, Dimitri. I mean, but the engine, like, the engine start sounds are still there. I still have Haley, the flight attendant. So I think what happened is when I updated to the beta, I saw it was deleting, I don't know, maybe 15 files or something. So I'm pretty sure those are the files that it was removing from the old BSS. But some of the actual BSS sounds are still there for sure, because the flight attendant's there, a couple other things are there. Oh, Barek, you were the one that responded. Awesome, thanks, man. Yeah, I got it running. I got the Lua in there, so we should be good to go. All right, we are doing a low-vis taxi out, 300 RVR, so we aren't going to do single engine. We're going to spin them both up. Man. Look at this livery, though. Like, I just can't get over the detail on this livery. The wings look fantastic. The inlet here, the grime, and in the sun, I posted some pictures when I did the first test flight with this livery yesterday. With the reflection on the engine nacelle, you can see smudges and stuff. It's fantastic. Dimitri says it's one of X-Plane's biggest shames that Flight Factor will not continue to develop the plane after V1 comes out. I totally agree, man. That's why I was kind of disappointed when I heard that they're actually at the end of their development for it, and they're pretty much at version 1, which leaves a lot to be desired. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at this, flaps coming down. I mean, this wing looks better than, I don't know, it's cleaner than the Batavia mod, but it's way better than the default mod. So this, I just love it. I just can't get over how much I love it. Flight Sim Guy 12 says, I had a flight on the 321 last month out of Tampa. Lots of weather in the area. The flight attendants told to stay on their seat, yet heard 2 sets of dings from the flight deck. Does that mean much? No, you're probably hearing them calling back. So they're probably calling up here or something like that. They probably double tap the call button or something like that.
How can I help you?
How can we help you? All right. Let's get back on track here. That's normal. Flaps are 1. Everything is set. We can go to intercom here. Engine 2 is started. And what do we got? Let's run a after start. Engine and ice, that is off. Yellow electric pump is off. Rudder trim 0. After start checklist complete. One thing that really bothers me too is I can't find the way to bind this rudder trim left or right. So that's kind of a pain in the butt for single engine stuff. Also their single engine, what is it, side slip is completely messed up as well. So, well, that's just a sim limitation. We'll get over it. All right, let's go ahead, taxi, low vis taxi out. We're going to 16 left via the South Flow taxi route. Bravo Delta. Bravo Delta South Flow. Let's do it. Kind of a weird little animation there. I don't know what that's all about. Gosh, that looks good though. Alright, this is CHECKRIDE. We gotta focus here. Focus now. Focus. Alright, we're coming out of the south ramp area, so we're gonna make a right on Bravo Delta, 16 left. We're gonna stay on the outer the entire way there. Remember what I told you guys about the low-vis taxi routes? They're going to be illuminated with green omni, or no, is it called omnidirectional? No, that's multiple. What's the word for single? Unidirectional? I can't remember what. There's a term for these green lights because they only depict one direction. Like you can only see them when you're looking at them. This is a little bit more realistic. This is about I'd say it's probably close to 800 RVR. So in real life, 300 RVR taxi out is, you see about here. That's about it. You don't see the terminal, you don't see anything. That's always the scariest part, is going to the terminal when you can't see the terminal. And you're crossing the ramp line, you're just like, oh boy. Dimitri says it has great potential to be FS Labs like. I totally agree, man. It has the potential. It definitely does. But unfortunately, I don't know if it'll ever get there, man. That's the sad part. But you're absolutely right. It has the potential. No doubt. Old Seattle. Always rainy and foggy here. Alright, so we just crossed Mike 4. Or no, Hotel. What did we cross? Oh, that's Mike. Oh yeah, so we're still down here. We just passed Mike, so we're tracking good. Dougal says, even though I get much better performance with the Tolus, I find the flight factor more immersive. You know, you're right, Dougal. It's and it's weird because I don't think I hadn't flown the flight factor really in a while. Well, I flew it on when did we fly it? Wednesday, and then I flew the Tolus, and I was really impressed with the Tolus. Like, man, the Tolus is nice. And then I got back in the flight factor this morning, and just the snappiness of the MCDU and being able to the functionality of the McDo, even though it's still missing a lot of features, it still is. I don't know. It is immersive. It's hard to tell. It honestly, guys, I can't tell you which one. If someone were to ask me again, which I'm sure someone always does, maybe not in this one because we're a members only chat today, but that told us first flight factor, man, I honestly don't know. It's pretty much dead even. Because they each do different things well. And I'm about to go off the runway here, taxiway here. Yep. That's alright. Just checking the, that's just too cool not to look at this view. It's just they both do different things really well. If I could just combine them, you know, that would be sweet. If they could get together and make a 321 baby. But who knows? It'll be interesting to see what happens with Flight Sim 2020, guys. It really is going to be interesting. Dimitri, I don't have the link handy, but it is in the Discord. It's in the liveries section of the Discord. I believe the guy who posted it was, it's 19 Adam Skin Creator, and it's in the livery section of our Discord. He posted it. You have to go past a couple of my screenshots that I spammed out yesterday, but it's definitely in the Discord there. Of course, I'll get a link for it after the stream is over, but yeah, it's in the Discord liveries section. And it's just really well done. I mean, I went around, I was walking around at like the pre-flight, and I was looking at the gear doors. He even has some markings out there on the gear doors. It's you can definitely tell. I don't know if he was a line service guy or is the line service guy, but he's got some detail on the airplane that only somebody up close and personal with airplanes would be able to recreate or recognize. I'll show you something else that's really cool up here on the door. Let's see. We know we're going to Delta. This next one is Delta. Oh, that's Bravo. So Bravo Echo. So right here, one more to Delta. But look at this. There's something here on the door. He's got the Star Alliance and then Piedmont, all the other airlines here, America West. This little emblem is just, you don't see that very much. The markings on the door are exactly correct. He's got the RVSM critical areas in the right spot. Got the red tape around the pitot and AOA sensors. The tiny details that really pop. Alright, here comes Delta. We're gonna go ahead and stop here short of Delta. We'll run through our checks. We don't do any taxi checklists or anything like that while we're on the taxi out in low vis conditions. I like to stop right about here, just with the line disappearing under the nose. That way you know you have plenty of room. Alright, brakes are set, but I mean, let me get in here again. I mean, look at this. Allegheny, PSA, America West. And I have my textures on low for the, well, not low, but for the stream. And he's got, you know, some grounding instructions over here on the door panel. It's just, I mean, it's really well done. Really, really well done. I don't know what's going on here with the that smoke effect, but hey. Alright, let's do a flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudders, full left, full right, neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config, 1 auto TARA, make a little PA, and then we'll come over here to the fat panel, cabin ready. Take off all green. I'm going to go ahead and turn terrain mode up on my side. Dougal says combine that we'll have a 319.5. I know, right? Okay, let's go constraint mode up to 10,000 feet, and let's do a B-Force takeoff checklist all the way through. Before takeoff checklist all the way through. Gross weight comparison is complete. 55.2 there. Look at our init B. 55.2. Okay, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim. 0.5% CG set. V1, VR, V2 flex. We've got 140, 144, 145, flex 60 set. Flaps, they are config 1 plus F. Flight instruments, checked. Flight controls, checked. ECAM memo, takeoff, all green. ECAM status, check, normal. PWS is on. TCAS, code set, TARA, cabin crew advised, mini brief is complete. Takeoff runway. We've got 1.6 left in the box, and I see 1.6 left at Delta outside. Confirmed. Fuel. 6.5 required, 6.8 on board. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleeds and packs are set for takeoff checklist complete. Alright. Let's get out of here. Put this on VOR mode. Cactus 119, RNAV KVOB 1.6 left, Delta cleared for takeoff. RNAV KVOB 1.6 left, cleared for takeoff. Cactus 119. Here we go. Light them up. Look at that lineup. There we go. That looks a little bit more realistic. That's about a 500 to 600 RVR. Alright, let me get my screen set here for you guys. Let's do it. Nose forward on the stick. Spool them up 50%. Just kidding. Flex it. Man flex SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. $80 knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100. V1, rotate. Oh, great, we just had an engine failure and I didn't want that. Positive rate, gear up. Great, I guess we're doing a V1 cut on this takeoff. I was not expecting that. Go ahead, continue to climb it out here. Well, this is good training. I was not expecting this already. I'm going to go ahead and select toga on the operating engine. Or flex. There's 1,000 feet. Okay, we're going to continue out. Tower is Cactus 119 at engine failure, declare an emergency. Cactus 119, roger. Fly heading 170. Climb and maintain 5,000. Climb and maintain 5,000, heading 170, Cactus 119. Alright, my first officer, could you go ahead and run the ECAM? I have control on ATC. He would run the ECAM. Okay, here's 200 feet prior to level off. We're going to go vertical speed 0. I'm going to go ahead and bring you back into MCT. Whoa there. There's S-speed. Flap 0. There's 5 prior to green dot. Go ahead and select speed, open climb, autopilot 1. I need to get you in the climb detent. Alright, there she is. Alright. Okay, well this was not part of the check ride. I do not want to do this right now, but hey, we're doing it. Why aren't you going on heading mode there? She got lost. Can you fly 200 then? Okay, we'll hand fly you then. We'll go ahead and take her up to 4, climbing 5,000, and then we'll go ahead and fix the problem from there. Well, that's not good, because I don't have any failures loaded, so I do not know why. Clear the caution. Alright, 3.6 for Comet 5. Let's go autopilot 1. Can you take over for me? Why do you want to keep turning right? Alright, I think it's coming back around. Alright, 1,000 feet to go. Let's go ahead and start running this ECAM while we can. Engine to fail. Engine mode selector ignition. Start the clock. If no relight after 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and turn it off. I could see we have an extreme over temp there on the EGT. Well, I don't know why that would happen. I don't know. I promise you guys, I was not expecting this, because like we have no failures loaded, but we have a power plant fault for some reason. Speed alt star, leveling 5,000. Cactus 119. Continue right turn, heading 270. I'm going to go ahead and increase speed a little bit now to 210 knots. Keep coming all the way around, 270, we're level 5,000. There's 30 seconds, we have no relight. Engine 2 master off. Confirm engine 2 master. Confirm. That is off. Engine 2 fail. If damage, fire push button push. Well, the temp is skyrocketing. We got high oil temp. Let's go ahead and... there's probably something going on. Engine 2 fire push button confirmed. Confirmed. Clear the caution. Whoa, that's a new one. Electric IDG2 oil overheat. So that's a new memory item. IDG2 overheat. We're going to have to disconnect the IDG. This is something I've never done before in the sim, ever, I promise. This is an interesting simulation here. Alright, clear electric. Hydraulic yellow engine 2 pump low pressure. Yellow engine 2 pump off. Yellow engine 2 pump off. Clear hydraulic. Clear hydraulic. Engine 2 oil high temp. Okay, we have a high oil temp on engine 2. We'll go ahead and clear engine 2. Engine 2 fail. If damage, we are suspecting damage, definitely. Agent 1 discharge. Agent 1 discharge. Discharged. Engine 2 relight initiate. We're not going to do that because we damaged it. We know it's damaged. So engine 2 fail. Clear engine 2. Clear engine 2. Engine 2 EGT over limit. Thrust lever 2 below limit. Thrust lever 2 is at idle. Clear engine 2. Clear engine 2. Alright, that looks like it cleared up the ECAM. Cactus 119, continue right turn, now heading 320. Right turn 320, Cactus 119. Alright, go ahead, read status. Alright, electric. We have the galley shed engine 2 is offline, so we don't have generator 2. That's my cue. Start the APU. We're starting the APU. I'm also in the midst of this. While that's spooling up, I'm going to go ahead and activate secondary, because I already have the secondary flight plan loaded, like I should have. There's ILS-16 center. Cactus 119, continue right turn, now heading 360. Right turn 360, Cactus 119. Alright, let's go ahead and continue setting up while the APU is full, and we're going to have to land this puppy and figure out what's going on here. LS push button is on, 164 ISZI. We're going to go medium brakes, flaps full, reverse as required. Alright, clear electric, clear electric. Bleed. Engine 2 bleed is offline. Clear bleed, clear bleed. Wheel page, I don't know why that's up. That shouldn't be up. What's wrong with the wheels? Oh, brakes. We had probably going to have alternate braking, maybe. Status. Approach speed. VREF +5. Perf data. Let's go ahead and activate confirm approach phase. We're set up for the Cat 2. VAP. VREF +5. 124. 129. Let's call it 134. Alright, that looks good. Yellow engine 2 pump is inoperative. Roger. Clear status? Clear status. Alright. Engine 2 is secure. Holy crap, guys. That was not expected. Alright, then I'll make a call to flight attendants. Hey, we had an engine problem there on engine 2. We're going to go ahead and return back to Seattle. You can expect my either brace command or evacuation command on the ground. I don't anticipate an evacuation, but I will let you know once we arrive. We should be on the ground here in about 5 minutes. Okay, flight attendants are notified. Call company, let them know the same thing on ops frequency. Let them know, hey, we're coming back to Seattle. We have a problem with our engine 2. It's been secured. Looks like it just went way over temp. I don't know. It over temped and shut down, so I don't know what happened. But that IDG thing, guys, that's crazy. I've never had to do that in X-Plane. But essentially, the IDG is the integrated drive generator, and that's where you get your power from for your generators. And if you shear it in flight by pressing this push button here, the only way to reconnect it is by maintenance on the ground. You can't just undo the push button. That's why you can also see the red guard here. So it's a pretty serious situation. Alright, let's go ahead and extend the line off of Anvil here. We'll go ahead and continue flying the airplane. We're going to go Anvil, 345, direct to insert, reselect heading. Oh, that didn't work. What happened to our box there? Anvil. What's our inbound course? 164, it should be 344. Don't tell me they messed up shooting the line. Insert. There we go. Alright, I don't want to adjust head gyro track. So this is beta, so there's a little funky things happening. But alright, we have our extended center line for Anvil to 16 center. And let's go ahead and brief the approach. We're going to have to do a Cat 3 single engine. Well, we'll do a Cat 2 single engine. I think we can only do a Cat 2 single engine. I want to hand fly it, that's why. Alright, I'm going to do a quick brief of the approach here. We've got ISZI 111.7, that's auto-tune. Final approach course is 164 degrees. We're going to cross Soto at 1900 feet. Cat 3 refer to minimums. Right now we have no DH set up in the box. Touchdown zone is 430 feet. Highest sector altitude out to the west, 6,400. If we have to go missed, it'll be a single engine missed approach procedure. We're going to continue straight out or below 2,000 feet. We'll make sure to set that here on a heading of 160 to intercept the Seattle 161 radial out to Tebney and hold. We can see that right here. Hold right turns. That's in the box. Matches the plate. Landing on runway 16 center. We're going to have one runway to cross. We'll exit the high speed, probably a November or Papa, maybe even Whiskey. and we'll hold short there, and we'll assess the situation, what if we need to evacuate or not. But we will clear the runway if all goes normal. We're in the A320 for tail strike avoidance. We're going to land auto brakes, some medium, reverse as required, flaps full. Any questions? No questions. All right. Clear all these out from the FO side. Cactus 119, descend and maintain 4,000, turn right, heading 030. 4,000, right turn 030, Cactus 119. Alright, we got 4,000 booth, thrust idle open, descent. It looks like she's spinning, she's windmilling there, but no fire. Just windmilling. It's pretty cool. Definitely messing up my CHECKRIDE vibes. Below VFE next, let's go flaps 1. Flaps 1. Slam Cannon says, sounds a bit crazy, but I think failure training would be my favorite part of training. I love this troubleshooting and problem solving. It's definitely more involved than sitting up there doing nothing, Slam Cannon, for sure. Alright, that's actually, this is accurate. This is more accurate than the total list here. When I extended flaps, status page pops back up, reads clear status, associated, clear status, Cactus 119, turn right, heading 090, intercept the localizer 4, tel established, cleared ILS 16 center approach. 090 on the heading, 4,000 tel established, cleared ILS 16 center approach, Cactus 119. Alright, we have Cat 3 dual autopilot 1+2. I'm going to go ahead and reduce speed now to 180. That might be a little bit high. I'm going to, let's go ahead and say, descend to maintain 3,200. Keep it coming down a little bit more. VFE next -10. Flaps 2. You can hear the PTU running away because what do we have? We don't have the yellow engine-driven pump, right? So this is kind of a lesson in that PTU operation. So if we look at our hydraulic page here, I'll bring it up, explain something here while we're in the middle of a failure. Our engine 2, engine-driven pump is not working, right? Because the engine's off. The PTU, or power transfer unit, is going to still pressurize this system to 3,000 psi as best as it can. You can see it's working here by the solid green arrows. You can see it keeps pumping it up to 3,000 and trying to maintain that 3,000 psi. Now, what you need to understand is there's no transfer of fluid here. It's just using green fluid to run a pump to pressurize the yellow system. So there's no fluid transfer happening. There's Loke Star, we're turning inbound on the 16 center approach. But what we can do... Emiliano, thank you for the subscribe, man. Glad you're enjoying the content, my friend. Well, here, I'm going to show you guys something. This is not on the checklist, but what we can do is how can we stop this PTU from running? Well, we have an electric pump over here, right? So let's go ahead and turn on the electric pump over here. And now look, the electric pump is going to supply the pressure, and our PTU has stopped working now. You can see the hollow arrows. The electric pump is going to run and pressurize the yellow system. So we'll go ahead and just leave that on for now. Also take a look at our fuel page, make sure our imbalance is okay. We're 400 kilos out of balance, that's fine. So again, it says you have to pay for an update if you want your engine back. Yeah, I might have to, man. Alright, there is glide slope star, go around altitude. Let's go ahead and set that 2,000 feet is set. And we can clear fuel. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to actually do a flight without the engine failing. It's kind of interesting here. Field elevation is 400 and our touchdown elevation is 430 feet. So normally we would configure at 2,400 feet, but because we're single engine, I'm going to start early. Thank you for the subscribe there, Sky Prensky. Appreciate it, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. Welcome aboard the A320 CHECKRIDE. where we have no idea what can happen, when it can happen, but we're going to do the best we can here. As long as we don't bust anything, we should be good. Alright, there's a VFE next, minus 10. I'm going to go ahead and go gear down now, and then we'll go flaps 3. So I am configuring a little bit early because we are single engine. I didn't go all the way to that 2,000 mark. If you're single engine, just make it easy on yourself. Configure early. Don't put yourself in a position to get behind. But you also don't want to configure too early and end up flying around or trying to maintain level flight with one engine and landing configuration. That's a no-no. That's a bust as well. VFE next, minus 10. Flaps full. We could run the landing checklist here. We get about 2,000 feet AGL. We'll come back over here to the FAT panel. Cabin ready. Alright, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust, speed, ECAM memo, landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. And I will hand fly this approach as well. Hand flown single engine, Cat 3. We're going to revert to Cat 1 now because we are no autopilot. You see the reversion there in the FMA, top right corner? Now, what would be interesting is if I could do a single engine go around. Because I think I still have Cat 3 minimums loaded. So what you would not want to see what that says there. It says Cat 1 no DH. That's not necessarily accurate. I'd have to reprogram that. But for entertainment purposes and for my own curiosity, I want to see how low I can hand fly this thing. There's 1,000 feet stable. Continue. This is some low vis for sure.
400.
Those trees are awful ominous looking.
300.
Runway.
200.
Landing.
100.
Holy crap. 9 knot quartering tailwind
50,
too.
40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. $70 knots. Manual brakes. Stow the bucket. We'll take the next left high speed. So in low vis, you can only exit when you have the green leadoff lights as well. So you could not make that reverse high speed there, but this one you can see is a low vis taxiway exit. Alright. Well, that was exciting. And set the brake. Flight attendant stations. And now we'll go ahead and assess the situation, tell tower what we're doing, etc., etc. And I think we are going to be good. So now, what I want to do is, the simulation is over. Good landing. I'm going to go ahead and put that back up. We'll get everything back off there. I'm going to turn the bleed back on. Let's close that. And I want to come here to the failures page. Reset. Clear all. No failures. Clear all. Reset. Everything looks normal there, right? Okay. So now I'm going to go here, flight. We're going to load up one other one here. We're going to change location, customize, 16 left, confirm. Whew. And start new flight. All right. Well, we can mark that off the list, so let's go ahead and mark that off. We did on that part, we got rid of our V1 cut to a handful on ILS, so we could check that off the box. Wow. That was not anticipated, guys, but hey, at least we got to do it, and it's actually better for me when it's unanticipated like that. It happened all of a sudden. So hopefully on this next takeoff here, we're just going to fire it up, get it running, and then we're just going to take off, and hopefully we can do a normal takeoff, go do our maneuvers, and then we just have to do 2 approaches. We'll do our RNAV to a mist, and then we'll do a localizer approach back in, and I might throw in an engine fire or something like that for you guys. But let's go ahead and get everything fired back up here. Now, I'm not going to be following very many procedures here. I'm just getting everything turned on for us. But hey. Dougal says, awesome info. Thank you, sir. Slim Cannon says, which would be more efficient, the green running it or the electric pump, if I understand it right? Slim Cannon, that's a good question. I have to actually look in the checklist and in the COM to see if it says anything. I honestly don't know if one would be more efficient than the other. I would assume, I mean, I don't know what the problem would be with running the yellow electric hydraulic pump, because what that would do is it eliminates that PTU from running and making all that noise back there. But I don't know if that's part of the procedure or not. So obviously if that was a 2-crew scenario, we'd run through our in-depth checklist in our company book, and if it said to run the electric pump, then that would be something we would do. But I wish I had a better answer for you, man. Honestly, I think the electric pump would be more efficient, but I do not know for 100%. Check this out. They also have the ground control push-button model now, so that's good. This is in the beta version. I'm just going to quickly fire everything back up here. APU bleed, come on. And we'll go ahead and get our lights on. And we'll just load up the box here real quick. Wow. Seattle, Seattle. Victory 1. Gust index 5. 5,000 feet. Boom. Align on ref. Confirm. Depart 16 left on the Harbor 6. Insert that. We're going to eventually come back around for the RNAV to 16 center a Yankee. Insert that. Secondary, just in case we have more problems. Let's go ahead and program the secondary. So you can see that really saved a lot of time when I was able to just activate secondary for that emergency. That was totally unplanned. That's why we do it every time. ILS 16 center. Perf coming back over. I think it's 3004. Outside air temp -4. Wind was definitely not calm, but we still got her down. 040. And we're just going to put 200. We'll do no again. No DH. Secondary set, nothing to hard tune. Init B. Wait request. Send that over. Perfect. And perf page. Get our speeds in there. And we're going to do a full-blown no flex takeoff. Oh. Alright. Hey, Sony Boy, coming in, 99-cent donation. Let's go, my friend. I don't see a chat message with it, though, Sony Boy. I don't know if you were saying something. I don't have a message associated with, man. But thank you for the donation, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the content. A little couple positive rates in there. All my members in the chat, and we should be able to get some positive rates out there for Sony Boy. Thank you, thank you. FTCast fault, we'll clear that out. Check takeoff data, let's clear that out. Always clear your scratch pads out, guys. Don't get in the habit of leaving stuff in the scratch pad, especially like, whether it be a random fix. One of the worst things you can do as well is leave the CLR in your scratch pad. Because if you leave the CLR, the clear button there, and let's say you're just messing around, you come back and then you press something here, you're going to clear out that fix. So always make sure your scratch pad is clear. Alright? Don't get in the habit of leaving any junk in your scratch pad. All right, so that looks good. I'm gonna come back over here. This is clear. Reset. Everything is clear in failures, so we should be good to go. Perf data is set. FAP. We will do the cabin status when it is time. We're just waiting on the ADIRs, which right now is showing 5 minutes in alignment. We don't want to do that. Can I adjust it in game? Alignment speed. Can I do 5 times? Will that make it go faster? Hey, it's aligned. Perfect. All right, we don't have to wait for that. All right, constraint mode is on. Let's clear our flight directors out. So in the flight factor, it's actually doing something. It's doing something that's not necessarily inaccurate, but it also works properly to remedy the problem. Sometimes you get this here. You get a 100 or something like your speed or something is not right. We want all dashes here, right? So if this is your problem, if you're looking at something like this before takeoff, the way to clear this out is to close both or disconnect both flight directors and then reconnect your flight directors, and now you can see we have dashes all across with our 5,000 and a dot. That's what you want to see before takeoff. Sony Boy coming in with another $2 super chat donation. How's it going, my friend? Thank you for supporting the channel again. Dougal, sorry you're having a hard time. Good luck. Yes, Dougal, I hope you are going to be feeling better, my friend. Maybe get a little bit distracted watching some engine failures. Feel a little bit better here on this Saturday evening for you out there in the UK. So anyway, like I was saying, flight directors off and then back on, and you'll be able to get the dots and dashes. So we're good to go. Let's go ahead and do a takeoff config. We're not going to run a full checklist. Boom. Flaps config 1, TARA, that comes on. And let's go ahead and crank those engines. Flap slats fault. Oh, yeah. We don't have the flaps. We don't have flaps out. We can't extend the flaps out our engines on. That's my fault. Start engine 1. New member, Brian Harris. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Come on, my members, show him some love. Get some positive rate emojis in the chat here for him. Thank you, Brian Harris, for becoming a member of the V1 Simulations channel. I'm glad to have you aboard, my friend. If you are in the Discord, make sure to sync your Discord to your YouTube account. That way you'll gain access to the V1 After Dark channel. Also, there is some members-only content, such as my V1 After Dark podcast that I am doing a monthly. You can check those out on my channel page, my YouTube channel page as well. I'm about ready to release November's V1 After Dark here in just a couple of days. It might actually be a few days delayed, guys, just because I'm kind of using all my spare time to study for my CHECKRIDE and my recurrent stuff coming up on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it may be the V1 After Dark podcast for November should be released within the first week of December here. But thank you, Brian Harris, for becoming a member of the channel, my friend. Listen to that puppy spool up. Yes, sir. That sounds good. Alright, that's tripping back over. We can go normal, boom. Now we should be able to go flaps 1. There they come. No, baby. Yes, sir. Alright. Now I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and go takeoff config. That comes over there. TARA. Auto brakes max. And cabin ready. Boom. Alright. Let's hope we don't have an engine failure on this one again. Because if we have an engine failure on this one again, we're going to have more problems. I'm going to real quick just triple check. No failures, clear and reset. Everything is normal over here. We have no failures. So, let's do this. Train on ND mode for this departure. Well, let's get out of here. Sony Boy at 94 donated through Super Chat again with another $2 bomb. He says, when I get a raise at work, I'll definitely join. Sony Boy 94, not a problem, my friend. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and just hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it that you're here and able to interact with us. But don't sweat it, my friend. We'll be glad to have you aboard anytime. Thank you, my friend. All right. Brakes released. Let's go do some maneuvers. Hopefully. Nose forward on the sticks. Spool them up 50%. Toga. Mantoga SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. 80 knots. Thrust set. Neutral by 100. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Look at my chrono starting automatically. Romulus, you are awesome, my friend. That's awesome. We are wheels in the well, baby. Nothing to look at out there. Man, she climbing like a rocket at Toga. Look at that, 4,400 feet a minute. Lever climb. VFE next, minus... actually, we're above that. It's flap 0. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool there. Autopilot 1. And since we're going to be doing some maneuvers, let's go ahead and clear out some of this weather. Let's go ahead and just go a VFR. But I want to keep the altimeter 3005 or whatever, and the temperature was -4, so that doesn't change too much of our flight performance, but there we go. Well, there we go. Now we got some stuff to look at. That's a beautiful shot right there. We got our engines running and everything. That's pretty cool. Dougal says, Sony Boy 94 is always a great supporter of streamers and the community. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Man, look at that Orbix Seattle, huh? I mean, I know Flight Sim 2020 looks amazing, but it's basically Orbix everywhere on the whole Earth, in my opinion, which is going to be pretty sweet. Because I love this Orbix Seattle. Look at that. A little bit of shot of 3-4 left out there. On the departure. Let's get a flyby view here. A little lackluster exterior sounds to be expected per flight factor. Look at that livery though, huh? Holy juice. I'm gonna need some juicies for that. That is awesome. The detail on that livery, the little bit of dirt coming down from the windows, the reflections. My goodness. A320 underneath the nose here. Wow. That is a thing of beauty. Is our APU still on? It is. I saw the APU outflow valve open. Haha, that's funny. Alright, let's take it up to 10,000 feet. And KX 119, turn right, heading 270. We're going to set up for our steep turn maneuvers. Open climb heading 5.1, climbing 10,000. Alright, so we're going to come up here, we're going to do our steep turns. I kind of reviewed a little bit about how to do the maneuver and why we do the maneuver in the first check ride prep video. So today we're just going to do it. We're going to do a full left turn. We're going to do left turn to 180 degrees, and then we're going to do a right turn 180 degrees. So we should, in theory, end up back on the same heading we started on. Sony boy coming in with another $5 bomb. Says, gotta bounce to the gym before CC's 37K. That's right. Thank you, Dougal. He's at 37K today. That's right. He's got a stream at 11. That's awesome. Thank you, Dougal, for the kind words. Long live Cactus. Yes, sir, Sony boy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Go lift those weights, buddy. That's what I gotta do, actually. I gotta work off some of this turkey and all this Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the detail here on the engines. Man, reflecting in the sun. Brian Harris, V1, great stream as always. Glad to be on board. I love the dirt. Thank you, Brian. Glad to have you here, bud. KORD says, hi from a cold Norway. Family party today, so can't stay long. Ah, man, sorry to hear it, but that sounds fun. Hope you enjoy yourself at the party. I've got a party this afternoon as well. That's why I bumped the stream up earlier. We got some, here in the States, we got some big college football games on today that I need to be a part of. So we're going to go ahead and continue cranking away the stream here. We're level at 10,000 feet, guys. Let's go ahead and get ready to do our maneuvers. I'm going to select speed 250. Easy there, player. I don't want managed speed. We're good. All right. So we're 250 knots, level 10,000 feet. Go ahead, give me the bird. Let's go flight directors, autopilot flight directors off. So I'm going to go over here. Here's the thing. I can't bind that push button switch, which is annoying. I have to click it. Autopilot flight directors off. We'll pop up the MFD. And here we go. We are on a heading 270. It's going to come left to 090, and then we're going to immediately go into a right turn. As we roll in that bank there, get a little bit of back pressure. Wow, my sensitivity is way high. I should have practiced a little bit more. Right about there. Lock it in. (10,000 feet, 250 knots. Keep it coming all the way around to 090. Oh, don't settle. See how it's wanting to descend there? Don't settle. Get it back up. Actually, we're going to do 2 complete circles. A little bit more practice for me. So I'm going to go all the way to 360 degrees to back to 270 from the left. Just so I get a little bit more practice here. Because there's 090, we would have gone leveled and gone right. But this is still technically practice for me, so I want to maximize this here. All the way. Maintain that 10,000. Lock it in. Lock it in, baby. Don't you climb on me. 20 feet high. Get back down. There she is. That's what we want right there. Exercising the scan. Looking at your attitude, altitude, pitch. Here comes 270. Roll it out. A little bit of nose down. Look at that. Whoop, that was a little too much nose down. Get it right back up to 10,000. And we're going to come into the right side. Whoa. I should have stabilized a little bit better at 10,000 before going into the turn. The engines were surging up there. Let's go ahead and get back down to 10,000 feet. There it is. A little bit lower, lock it back in. There's 10,000 feet. Try to keep that bank right on that 60-degree mark. I'm sorry, 45 degrees. Uh-oh, we're getting low. Back up. trickier going right for me than it is going left, and I think that's it's just partially because I'm right-handed, and moving the stick left is easier for me than it is moving it to the right. I feel a little bit more definitely more unstable here. There's 10,000 feet. Alright, come on, lock it in here for the last 90. Come on, lock it in, baby. There it is. That's what I want to see right there. We're going to roll out on 270. Yeah, I found the sweet spot now. We got her locked. Roll out. Start your roll out about 10 degrees prior. Don't let it settle. Boom. 270 at 10,000 feet. Perfect. It wasn't perfect, but that was pretty good. Let's take a look. There's our 2 steep turn circles. Excellent. Let's go autopilot back on here for a second. Flight director's back on. Rebuild the animation. New member, Gerald McGinley. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Glad to have you here. Picking up a couple of new members today. Really appreciate it, man. Got a couple positive rates in chat for the newest member now, Gerald McGinley. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining the V1 channel. As I said before, if you missed it, sync your if you're in the Discord, sync your Discord to your YouTube, and then also check out the members-only content on my channel there. It's the V1 After Dark podcast series. So good to have you aboard, my friend. All right, we're speed alt star. Let's go ahead and come all the way back around. We're coming to 090. We're going to do 2 stalls. Tor! Coming in with 100 Norwegian krones, my friend. With a with the super sticker. I like these new super stickers, man. A flying super sticker. I love it, dude. Thank you so much for your support, man. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Thank you, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. From a cold, I believe you said it was a cold, rainy Norwegian morning. But, awesome. Gerald, you are the livery creator. Is that it? Are you the livery creator? He says, hi all. V1, thanks for the kind words for my livery. Gerald, thank you so much, man. Thank you, dude. The livery is freaking outstanding, dude. I love it. It is so well done. The detail is amazing, and all the small things, man. Like the bulkheads. When I went into the cabin and I saw those bulkheads with the old cactus colors on there, just it blew me away. It brought me back, man. Really brought me back. So thank you for your contribution to the community. Alright, so here we go. We're level 10,000 feet. We're going to do 2 stalls. Hold on, let me just mark. I got my little notepad here. We're marking off stuff. So we did our steep turns. We did our normal takeoff. So we got to do 2 stalls, an RNAV, and a loc approach. So the first stall we're going to do is a simulated departure stall. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn... We're going to leave the autopilot on. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to demonstrate this here. We're going to go all the way back to 0 on the speed. Yeah, I mean, look at this livery, guys. I mean, as we're slowing down here. Fantastic job. And the colors match perfectly. The blue and the red and the tail, just, it's awesome. The winglets. Oh, and another thing, you talked about details. When you go to load the airplane in your configuration, look at the thumbnail here. How freaking sweet is that? So, again, awesome job, my friend. Alright, there's VFE X -10. Let's go flaps 1. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to disconnect. And remember, we're not worried about altitude on this one as much as just recovering at the first sign of a stall. So what I'm going to do here, let's go flight directors off. And I'm just going to go ahead and pitch the aircraft up about 10 degrees or so. Flaps 2 for our departure configuration. And we're just going to kind of maintain this climb rate as the thrust decreases. And we're going to recover at the first sign of a stall. And I will also turn off the auto thrust for this one. We'll go ahead and cancel the altitude warning. We're just going to hold it right here like we're climbing out. You can see our V alpha prot approaching there, our tiger tail. So here you can see the airplane. I'm hands off the stick, right? I'm completely hands off. Look at it level the wings and reduce that angle of attack. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to alpha floor. That's the first sign of a stall. Let's go ahead and recover. Lower the angle of attack. I'm going to disengage the toga lock because I've recognized the stall, and now I'm going to go ahead and just continue to recover the aircraft's pitch attitude. And we're positive rate. We're back around 2,000 or 10,000 feet, 200. All right, so that's good there. Let's go ahead and we're going to go around track. Let's go flight directors off. And now we're going to go ahead and go gear down. Flaps 3. We're going to simulate a depart or approach to landing stall. Flight directors come off. And we're going to do this in alternate law. ADIRs come off. Captain 3. There we go. So I should have a speed tape here, but I don't. Use man pitch trim. Cancel the caution. Acknowledge the caution. Cancel the camp. There we go. Whoa, there's our stall. It happened already. Let's go ahead and recover. Get that nose down. Lower the angle of attack. Slowly get that thrust in there. Slowly recovering the aircraft's pitch attitude. You could tell how jerky the airplane is because it is in direct relationship now with the side stick. All right, we have a positive rate of climb. Let's go gear up. That'll put us back into alternate law. Retract the flaps one step, flaps 3. We're in a positive rate of climb now. We're climbing out of 10,000 feet, so we've recovered from the approach to landing stall. We'll go ahead and exit. I'm sorry, we'll end the maneuver there. We'll get our ADIRs back on. Put that back into normal mode. Let's rebuild our animation here. We're going to go select speed. I'm going to go ahead and bring you up to 250. I know we keep climbing. Let's go ahead and set a 5,000 foot open descent. Autopilot 1. Heading. Rebuild the animation. I want select speed. 170. Put you back in there. And nope, there we go. Open descent. There we go. Flaps 2. Get the animation rebuilt here. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a jip whiz as well. Flaps 1. Alright, and for a bonus, we'll do an emergency descent here as well. Let's go ahead and get everything set up. We're going to do, since we have a little bit extra time, we're going to do a bonus maneuver here. We're going to do a simulated emergency descent into a jip whiz or a terrain, and we're going to execute our maneuvers from there. So we're thrust idle open descent now, descending 5,000. I'm going to go ahead and just spin this all the way down to 100 feet, and we'll see what happens. Actually, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do emergency descent, right? Let's go level off for a second. I want to show you guys an emergency descent. So we're at 11,000. That's good enough. This thrust is coming up 250. All right, so anytime that we would have to do an emergency descent for rapid decompression or any other reason necessary for emergency descent, we have memory items that we need to do. First thing to do is get our flight directors back on. There we go. So the way that we train for emergency descent, first thing we do is select speed 250. Then we let me take that back. First thing we actually do, if it's a depressurization, we're going to go ahead and put on our oxygen mask. That's the first thing we do. So we get our oxygen mask on. Then we're going to set 250 knots in the speed. Then we're going to dial in whatever altitude is the safest of either the MEA or the lowest safe altitude. Pull for open descent. You can either leave the thrust levers to idle, or leave them in auto thrust, or you can leave them in auto, or you can just bring them to idle, and then you can go full speed brakes, and down we go. Then we notify the cabin of what we're doing. We're going to do that emergency descent right here towards this terrain. As we get down low, matter of fact, that terrain looks a little bit closer. Let's come left a few degrees. As we get down nice and low and we get a terrain pull up, our memory items for that is going to be firewall the thrust levers, max deflection full aft on the stick. Now, I don't know how this flight vector is going to handle it, but the real airplane is just, if you go full aft on the stick, it's going to keep you completely within limits. You don't have to worry about over G or anything like that, because remember, the side stick in normal law is G load and roll rate. So even though I pull full aft rapidly on the stick, it will not over G the aircraft. So we're going to go full aft on the stick, firewall the throttles, and we're going to just hold full aft. And what that will do is it will climb the aircraft at its maximum AOA, and once you get to the maximum AOA, it's going to remain there, and it won't stall, in real life anyway, in normal law. We'll see how the sim handles it. And then also you want to check and make sure that the speed brakes are retracted. So emergency descent initiated, we got 250. I'm going to dial in something very low here that we wouldn't dial in just because I want to simulate the jip whiz. Pull for open descent, idle on the thrust levers, maximum speed brake, notify the cabin. I would say, you know, hey guys, we have rapid decompression, we're emergency descent, etc., etc. So here we go, emergency descent, full speed brakes, 250. What we could also do is lower the landing gear if you needed to. So gears coming down below 250 knots, and here's our emergency descent. We're idle, full boards. Interesting that it oversped there. It shouldn't have done that. This red line should be... should not be there. 250 should be red line for extension, so that's inaccurate there. There should be 250, not 235 or whatever that is. All right, so we're in our emergency descent now. We are hauling down. And I'm going to leave the weather like this so we can see how close we're going to get here. But in real life, in the sim, you know, we train with no viz, but you know that they have mountains right next to you, so there is no time to mess around. Now what will happen is, even if I don't retract the speed brakes, once I advance the thrust lever Sotoga, they will automatically retract on the Airbus. Now in the 757, I think it'll do that now, but there was a 75 that crashed in Cali, Colombia, American Airlines. Same situation. They had full speed brakes out. They had a jip whiz. They did the right thing, but they left the speed brakes out, and they hit the top of the mountain. Had they retracted the speed brakes, they would have survived. But after that crash, the FAA mandated that, you know, there's got to be some kind of auto retract with the speed brakes. All right, so we're just going to be here pretending yada, yada, yada. We're on emergency descent. We're coming down, full boards out, gears out. The real airplane descends a little bit faster than this as well. Oh, come on, I want to get a jip whiz. I'm intentionally turning myself into the terrain. Ooh, this is a good one here in the turn as well, because part of the memory procedure is to level the wings. If you level the wings, you'll get maximum lift.
2,500. 2,500.
Terrain.
There it is. Toggle the thrust levers, full aft on the stick.
Terrain.
Retract the speed brakes. I want to see what it does here. If it will actually keep us from stalling. Positive rate, gear up. Look at that. 6,600 feet a minute. You say the Airbus won't climb. 7,000 feet a minute. There it is. It's holding me at max AOA right there. All right, we're clear of the terrain. We'll go ahead and recover. Let's go ahead and rebuild the automation. Come left. Let's go ahead and maintain 7,000. Thrust open descent 250 knots. All right, there we go. So there was our Jip Whiz. We did emergency descent to a Jip Whiz or EGPWS. Man, that terrain looks awesome out here. All right, let's go ahead and get ready for our RNAV approach. So let's go ahead and set up the box. I'm going to just go ahead and send us direct to... Is it Magnum? RNAV 16 center Yankee. 16 center Yankee. Yes, it is. Direct to, insert, here we go. Disarm the spoilers. And once we get out of the terrain here, I'm going to go ahead and lower the visibility. But this just looks so awesome. My goodness. Look at that livery shining in the sunlight. That looks awesome. That blue is freaking unreal, man. You outdid yourself, Gerald. Alright, there we are, direct to Magnum. That is sweet. Dougal says that this learning curve is something else. Yes, sir. Hey, now you'll be fully prepared to be a complete Airbus driver here in X-Plane. Man, I love these Orbix mountains. That looks so good. Alright, let's go. Let's see where we are here. Well, there's Magnum. 28 miles out. Let's go ahead and lower the viz. Actually, while we wait, let me pull up my charts here. RNAV 16 center. We're going to hand fly this. Let's see, our bottom altitude SOTA at 1900. The LNAV VNAV minimum's 840, which will bring us 410 feet above the ground. So we want to make sure that our visibility is lower than that because we want to actually go around on this approach for our final approach. So here we go, flight configuration, weather. Let's just go ahead and go IFR Cat 3. Done, apply. Wow. That looks sweet. That might be a new screenshot right there. Alright, let's go ahead and finish setting up for the approach here. Perf data. We are in managed or selected speeds. We'll activate confirm. Now that I changed the weather, what do we have for weather down here? We're at 500, 29902 now, 29902. Alright, wind calm. 29902. Sure 14. Wind is 0 for 0. MDA, LNAV, VNAV is 840. That looks good to me. Dimitri says, on an unrelated subject, the JAR Design 330 just received an X-Plane 11.4 update. Dare I say it is now flyable? Ooh, that sounds like a challenge. we might have to give her another shot, man. As much as that plane drives me nuts sometimes, it is the only wide-body Airbus we have, so I wouldn't mind giving it a fly. Now, I don't know, we're approaching the 5K subs, so I'm almost thinking we're going to do a serious long haul. Thing is, I don't know, do I want to do my 5K sub celebration in the jar design? We'll see. We might do it. We might do just a real true long haul, like down to Lima, Peru or something for 5K subs. Alright, here we go. Direct. Let's do Magnum. Let's go ahead and extend the line. So I'm going to pull heading. Magnum. Inbound 345. Insert. Reselect our heading. Perfect. I'm assuming fix info still is not modeled, right? Yep, still not modeled. Alright, cool. It's only been promised for the last 3 years, or 2 years. Let's come right, heading 310, descend and maintain 4,000 feet. We've got the brick and the stick. We don't need any LS push buttons. We're going to do a flaps 3. So I'm going to go select flap 3 on the overhead, configuration 3. And we'll do a quick approach briefing here. Let's pull up our RNAV. Oh, I don't have the RNAV 16. I have the RNAV 34 center in here. But that's alright. I'll brief it from my chart anyway. So we're going to do the RNAV runway 16 center, GPS a Yankee 840 MDA. That is set in our barrels. We're going to do a flaps 3 landing. So I've got config 3 set here in perf data. VAP is 133. For flaps 3 landing, we got to come up here on the overhead and make sure we select a landing flap 3 on the GPWiz panel. If we don't, and we approach to land, it's going to say too low flaps, because it's anticipating us to land flaps full. So we want to make sure that we put the landing flap 3 up here on the GPWiz panel to let the aircraft know, hey, flaps 3 is normal for this landing configuration. So we've got flaps 3 configured up there. We're going to go auto brakes low, full reverse, and that's all I got. Any questions? No questions. All right. We are going to do a missed approach on this one, hopefully. Reduce speed now to 210. Fresh off the stove today. Wow. Dare I click on that link and see what it says? Let's take a look. Separate throttle control added, FADEC model reworked, auto thrust modes reworked, thrust modes, autopilot mode. Wow. Interesting, Dimitri. Very interesting, my friend. I might have to give it a try. Alright, let's go ahead and reduce speed to 180 now. Left turn back around. 260. Get ready to intercept. We've got our vertical deviation up. The brick is there. Let's go flaps 1. Man, that looks good. And VFNX minus 10 flaps 2. We'll continue the left turn heading 230. We'll make it 240. Cleared RNAV 16 Yankee. 16 center Yankee. Alright, we are final app nav. We're now in app nav. And I'm going to hand fly this approach in as well. So I'll disconnect the autopilot there. We're hand flying the RNAV 16 center Yankee. So we're waiting for final app. Then we'll set our missed approach altitude. Our missed approach altitude is at or below 2,000 first. There's final lap. We've captured the glide path. Or set missed approach altitude of 2,000 feet initial. 2,000 blue. Stay on that brick. Since we're in normal configuration, we're going to wait for our standard 2,000 feet, 180 knots for configuring the airplane. Approaching Soto, 1900 is our final approach fix.
2,500.
We're looking for 2,400 feet MSL. There is 2,400. That's 2,000 feet above touchdown. We're going to go manage speed, gear down. VFUNX minus 10, flaps 3. That is our landing configuration. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised. Auto thrust. Speed. ECAM memo. Looks like we got landing all green, cabin blue. Landing checklist complete. Soto at 1900, that was checked back there. Stable.
Above. 500 minimum.
No contact. Go around. Go around flaps. Positive rate. Gear up. Cactus 119. Go on missed. 16 center. Cactus 119. Roger. Fly the published. All right, 1.2 climbing 2,000, so I'm going to go ahead and immediately bring the thrust levers back to thrust climb so we don't overshoot this intermediate level off here. Flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1, speed alt star heading, go manage nav, flap 0 after takeoff checklist, flap 0 after takeoff check, speed out nav, we're level 2,000 feet. Cactus 119, hold as published over Milt. Hold as published over Milt, Cactus 119. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the autopilot 1 back on here. And for Cactus 119, we're going to need about 210 knots in holding. Okay, so we're going to bump up our speed to 10 here. So you can see our managed speed had us right about 200. Don't want to hold on green dot. We do about 10 knots over green dot. So I'm going to go select speed 210. We're going to go ahead and enter the hold here over Milt. And we'll set up for our final approach back in. Alright, so let's go through our little handy dandy checklist here as the airplane is running to the hold. After takeoff checklist is complete. After takeoff check is complete. We got our lights off. Flaps up, everything is good. I'll go ahead and turn off the landing flap 3 push button, disengage the auto brakes, and airplane is cleaned up and we're going to enter the hold. So according to our checklist now, we've done our stalls and we've did the RNAV to a miss. So the only thing we have to do now is our final approach back in. And to make it a little bit more interesting, we're going to do a... Let's do a loc approach. What do you guys rather see? I can either do a loc approach 2 engines, or we can do an engine fire with a single engine ILS. With a single engine ILS to an auto land, essentially. So, do you guys want to see engine fire with a single engine ILS, or would you rather just flip it around, shoot the localizer in 2 engines? While you guys let me know in chat, I am going to see what's going on here with the hold here. That looks good. 1216 center. I don't know why it's drawing this reverse course here. This is not correct. This should be over here somewhere. Because this to me looks like it's going to turn on the unprotected side of the hold, which is a no bueno. Alright, either way we're going to be loading up for 16 center, so I'm going to go ahead and load up the secondary. ILS 16 center is already in there. Secondary perf. Approach. Altimeter is now 29.9 or 2. Temperature is 14. Alright, loc 2 engines, Dimitri says. Carl says engine fire is single engine. Alright, let's see. Entering the hold over Milt. A departure Cactus 119. We're entering the hold over Milt 2000. Alright. Once we are in the hold, we can go ahead and climb and hold up to 5,000. We're gonna alter. We're gonna set 4,000 feet here. First climb, open climb, in the hold. Yeah, see, this is a CHECKRIDE bust right here. The airplane is turning to enter the hold on the unprotected side of the hold. So this is wrong, and this is a failed CHECKRIDE. I don't know why Flight Factor has us doing this weird hold thing. Speed out star. Yeah, that's totally wrong. Alright, anyway. So, Carl says engine fire, single engine. Dimitri says loc 2 engines. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and just... We'll do a... Let's see, we already did single engine today, so we do need to do a loc. Let's do a loc. We gotta do the loc approach. Let's do it. Screw it. Let's do failure. I like fire. Engine fire. What did I have it set here? 1 minute after takeoff. I'm gonna do a new one. Engine fire. Dougal says engine fire as well, so we're going to do an engine fire. So we'll say we're in the hold here, just hanging out. We're going to do an immediate initiate failure. Let's do an engine. Let's do a left engine fire. Uh-oh. Which one was it? I don't remember. No, that's after takeoff. So we want to put that one here. What, activate? Reset? No? Maybe I have to do... Let's edit that. Let's go here. No. What? Edit. engine fire at takeoff, just so I know which ones are which. And then engine fire, we're going to edit this one. Insert immediately. Append or append and? No. In time. Let's see if we do it in 1 minute. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Let's see if it triggers it. Yeah, this should have been a teardrop entry on the protected side. It didn't. What happened here is the airplane should have gone at a 45 and then did a right turn back around and stayed on the protected side. So it is completely all whacked out. I don't know why it's doing that. But let's go ahead and we'll exit the hold here. I wonder what happens if I do immediate exit. Not allowed. Alright, that's what I figured. Let's go ahead and pull heading. Oh, that's speed. Wrong knob. Fly heading 030. Activate secondary. We've got our we've got our ILS 16 center set up there. Perf data. No. We'll let the autopilot do an auto length. There it is. Engine 1 fire. Clear the master warning. Thrust lever. Engine 1 idle. Confirm engine 1. Confirm. Idle. Engine 1 fire push button. Push. Engine 1 fire push button. Confirm engine 1. Confirm. Push. Alright, we got secondary failures now. We'll clear the caution. Clear the warning. Engine 1 fire. Engine 1 master off. Confirm engine 1 master. Confirm. Confirm. Agent 1 discharge. Agent 1 confirm. Discharge. Press and hold it for 5 seconds. Discharged. ATC notify. Departure Cactus 119. We have an engine fire declaring emergency. Request immediate vectors for ILS 16 center. Cactus 119, roger. Fly heading is 020 to maintain 4,000 feet. 020, maintain 4,000, Cactus 119. Alright, so we're coming left 020. Continue with the ECAM here. If fire after 6 seconds, so we got to see what happens here. If the fire light stays illuminated, which it does. Agent 2, discharge. Okay, the fire light's out after that second bottle. So we had to blow both bottles to extinguish that fire. That's pretty cool. Alright. Electric generator 1 fault. If unsuccessful, generator 1 off. Generator 1. I don't know if this is compounding properly. But we'll go ahead and turn it off. Generator 1 off. Electric generator 1 off. Clear electric. Hydraulic G. Hydraulic gen. Engine 1 pump. Hydraulic green. Engine 1 pump. Low pressure. Green engine pump 1 off. Green engine 1 pump. Off. I'm going to go ahead and put this in MCT now as well. There we go. Alright, clear hydraulic, clear hydraulic. Engine 1 shut down. We do have a fire, we're not going to relight this one. Engine 1 shut down, engine mode selector ignition. If no fuel leak, fuel crossfeed on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fuel crossfeed. We do not suspect a leak right now. We got 970, that's pretty normal, 500 pounds in our other engine. So we'll go ahead and turn the crossfeed on for now. We got to make sure we turn that off. Approaching landing. Cross bleed valve shut. Avoid icing conditions. Roger. Engine 1 shut down. Clear engine 1. Clear engine 1. Alright. Status. Standby. Cactus 119. Left turn to 350. 350 Cactus 119. Alright. Go ahead. Read status. Alright. Generator 1 is offline. IDG 1 is offline. So that reminds me. What do? Start the APU. I'm starting the APU. Alright, clear electric, clear electric. Bleed. High pressure and intermediate pressure for engine 1 is offline because the engine's off. Clear bleed, clear bleed. Wheel pressure, brakes, clear wheel. Status, read status. Approach VREF plus 5 knots. VREF plus 5. What we need to do is go ahead. We are in select speed, activate, confirm. 132 on the V app. That is set. Clear status. Clear status. Land ASAP. Flaps open. The APU is spooling up. All right. First officer would go to the COM. Commence the COM procedure, which would tell us to put this into TA only, and a couple other things that we would probably do down there, but we're good right now. So we'll put that in TA only. APU is on. Engine is secure. The fire is out. And let's go ahead and extend the line now for the approach. We're going to go direct, anvil, 344. Insert, reselect heading. All right, we are set up now. Let's do a quick approach brief for the ILS 216 center. Cat 3. All right, we're going to do a Cat 3 single engine for the ILS 16 center. ISZI 111.7 is auto-tuned. Final approach course is 164. SOTO 1900 feet. The DA is going to be no DH. We're going to do a Cat 3 auto land single engine. Touchdown zone is 432 feet. Highest sector altitude out to the west, 6,400 feet. We are in TA only mode for traffic advisories. ATC is aware that we have an emergency engine failure, so hopefully we don't have to respond to any RAs or anything like that to begin with. So for Cat 2, well, let's actually set this up properly. We actually would put in here, we need to have visual reference at 126 feet RA. So we have a DH of 126 for, because we're fail passive now because we have single engine. So technically we can still auto land, but we have to see visual reference at 126 feet. If for some reason we have to do a missed approach, single engine, we're going to go out at or below 2,000 feet, intercept milt and hold right turns, teardrop entry, we saw it before. We're going to go auto brakes medium, flaps full, check the overhead, make sure our flaps landing system looks good. Perfect. All right, any questions? No questions? KLAX 119, turn left, heading 280. 280, KLAX 119. Carl says, would you ever relight that, given you blew both bottles? You have no material to quench any additional fires. Yeah, no, you can't relight the engine after you blow even one bottle. It's not possible. So, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not possible, but physically, I don't think it can happen, because that agent gets in there and it pretty much seals up the fuel injectors and nozzles and all that stuff. So, it would be very rare to be able to restart it. And after blowing both bottles, even more highly unlikely you even having a possibility to restart it. And I'm not even sure. I want to say there's something, once you blow a squib, I'm pretty sure that the fuel valves are commanded closed and they cannot be reset anymore. I want to say that that's something anyway. So even if there was no agent in the way, I don't think it'd be physically possible to relight it after you blow the bottles. The bottles are, I think there's 1 and 2. It's one bottle, and you have two discharges. So, all right, we're approaching anvil 3,000, KLAX 119, descend and maintain 3,200. Reduce speed to 180 knots. Let's go VFE next minus 10, flaps 1. And for trimming out the beta, Carl, yeah, unfortunately, the beta target and slip skid indicator on the flight factor are completely wonky in the beta version. There's our status. We're aware. Clear status. You can't trim it out. It doesn't do anything. And 2, if I use rudder, it deflects opposite, and I can never center it. So it's weird. Like if I did a V1 cut and I blew the right engine, and the ball slipped out to the right, and I could not center it no matter what I did. It was weird. So it's definitely a bug on flight factor's part. All right, here we go. Come left, heading 210, maintain 3,200 until established, cleared ILS 16 center approach. 170 to established, or I'm sorry, 210 till established, 180 on the speed, 3200 till established, cleared ILS 16 in our approach, ATIS 119. VFE next minus 10, let's go flaps 2. You can hear the PTU running in the background. We have a Lokestar, we're on the localizer. Speed out star. Thrust is coming back in. Wow, definitely overshot the turn there a little bit. Get back on it. Alright, she's back on it. Here we go, final one. Let's do this. Yeah, Carl says this, so it's not accurate beta representation. That's maddening as an instrument pilot. Yeah, it definitely is. It doesn't even, I mean, look, if I press, well, I can't do it into, the more I press on the rudder pedal, the further it deflects out. So it's completely bonkers. And I didn't even think to try it in the stable version of the flight factor, so I don't know, but this is on the beta version. I don't know if it behaves any differently on the stable version. There's glide slope star. Let's go ahead and set go around altitude of 2,000 feet. Glide slope is captured. I'm going to minimize this display unit a little bit here. And let's go to the FAT panel. Cabin ready. Here we go. Last one. All checklists are complete. We're waiting for our landing checklist once we get down there about 2,000 feet.
2,500.
Let's go ahead and configure early. Single engine. Manage speed. Gear down. VFE next minus 10 for laps 3. Dimitri says, V1, you should put a ticket to flight factor for all these bugs. Wait, they don't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't know. If I put a ticket, they'll probably just... I don't even want to waste my time with them anymore, to be honest with you, man. I tried so much from the beginning that I'm at that point now where whatever. I'll just let it be messed up, have them figure it out, because they obviously don't want to listen to me. They don't want to hear anything I have to say, so I don't want to waste any time with them. Alright, here we go. We are stable, Soto 1900 checks, landing checklist, cabin crew advised, auto thrust, speed, ECAM memo, landing all green, landing checklist complete. Let's see how the flight factor behaves. Whoa, whoa, whoa there. What's happening? Noise from my throttles. Okay. Wow, she's really having a hard time here. Get back on it. There you go. You got it, girl. I'm gonna hand fly because I don't want to go around again, and she's not really doing a good job. Stable. I believe you can only do hand flow on Cat 3 with a HUD. We obviously don't have a HUD, so this is for entertainment purposes only.
500.
What's with the 12 knot direct crosswind?
400.
Land green. Holy crap. Runway in sight. Landing.
300. 100 above. 200. Minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, retard, 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. Let's simulate that we get a ding from the back. Hey, Captain, we still see flames coming from the engine back here. Okay, stand by. I'll get back to you in 1 second. Go ahead and stop. Tell the FO, hey, tell them we're evacuating on the runway. Flight attendants stations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, a flight attendant.
What? Nope, shushy. Flight attendant stations. All right, and let's go ahead and do an evacuation checklist here. Simulate evacuation on the ground. And then Tower Cactus 119, we're going to be evacuating here on 16 Center. We still have engine fire, or we still have smoke in the cab. We'll say it was smoke. If it was burning, we probably wouldn't. We would evacuate. There's different procedures. If you're on fire, you'd have to evacuate off of one side of the aircraft. But we'll just say that there's something going on where we are going to evacuate so we can run this checklist. Aircraft parking brake. Stop on. Crew PA, flight attendant stations. I did that. ATC, notify. Pressure check. We've already done that with automatic pressurization. We didn't have to use manual. Engine master 1 and 2 off. Killing engine master 2. Fire push buttons, engines and APU. Discharge if necessary. Oh, I'm sorry. Fire push buttons. Push. Discharge if necessary. It's not necessary to discharge those. If evacuating is required, PA evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. So I would do that here. Evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. Evac command, push button, press. Oh, are you serious? We can't press the evac command in the toll list? Or there we go. There it is. Evac command, evacuate. And we would evacuate the aircraft. Let's get out of here. I'm going to turn that horn off, so. Alright, guys. Wow. So that's going to conclude our mock check ride preparation. Whew. Let's see if we can do a little replay here on that last landing there. I'm going to disable the real view. And that was a loaded stream there. 2 hours and 5 minutes, it looks like. Let's see if I can need a replay. I don't know if how Flight Factor handles a replay after all of that. I'm going to hop over here. Looks like it's pretty good. Alright, guys. Carl Chill says he butters the peg leg landing. Yeah. There comes the float factor again. It got a little floater there on us. That wind, man, out of nowhere, there's like a 12-knot direct crosswind, borderline quartering tailwind. That's probably why the airplane was struggling. There is limitations when you're doing an automatic landing with crosswind, especially a single engine. So that might have have some effect on it. But see, Peck Pocket says that tree on Super Short Final looked menacing. That sure did, man. There was a lot of menacing things about that approach, but we got her down. Nice and stable. 1.06 G on the landing, says Dimitri. No slides on the evac, unfortunately. I wish they had that model. That'd be kind of cool. But you can definitely see I was working it there. The spoilers kept fluctuating. I don't know what was going on there, but let's see if they're on this side. Yeah, on this side. Just that bank kept wanting to roll, but we got her down. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in today. All the members in the chat hanging out on this members-only live stream. I'm gonna have a fun stream for you guys next week. But until then, I'm gonna be headed off now. I got some studying to do. I got my check ride coming up on Monday, Tuesday, so I'll probably be quiet for the next couple days. But I'll be catching you guys here again in mid next week, I'd say. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for all the wonderful messages, the chat, and super chats, and super stickers. You guys are awesome. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you're watching from. I will catch you on the next one. See ya.